Saludos y bienvenidos a todos to the PGP podcast. Hey everybody, Josh the White Proud Principal of Memorial Pathway Academy in Garland, IZ, Garland, USA. And I'm wishing you a I know 30 of us, our states are all. We're sending the East Coast some love. It started over here with us and we're wishing it up there. We're seeing what New York's getting hit with. Oh my Lord. Take care. Don't go out. Do not go out. Stay in your casita. Stay in your house. Avoid all the nonsense that's out there. Hey, welcome to our 90th episode. We're almost 10 away from 100. And remember, we are part of the Fantastic Four show, which starts off every Saturday with Coach Sean Hurd. Right now is the time you should be breaking down. No, I take that back. It should have been done before to break down the data. But you know what? I know right now you're already doing your budget. We're doing our budget for next year. So write in Sean Hurd. He'll help you break down your data for when you receive from summer. Those scores from summer, that's your data guru. If you don't know how to do it, that's fine. A lot of people don't know how to do it. A lot of people have a war room, a data room, but you don't know how to implement it. That's your cat right there. How about the doctors? Dr. Shika Houston, Dr. Tammy Taylor. You want to know about culture, about raising the grade of their campus, 3 letters in 1 year. That's the type of individual that you need, someone that lived it and walked it. And the last person on Super Saturday, what can we say other than El Jefe? Principal Cafele. Principal, who just hit 300 consecutive live shows. He loves to say consecutive live shows. Jefe, congratulations on that awesome milestone. Looking up to you. We'll catch up. I don't know when we'll catch up, but we will catch up on the PGP podcast for inspiring us to be the best version of ourselves. But you know what? I got this lady over here. She's in H-Town. How are things in H-Town?
I'm in H-Town. Look at my spiders. I am actually very, very cold. I should have just stayed in South Texas because, it's not freezing down there. But, it is what it is. I had to take care of my little puppies. And so here I am just going through the freeze. But then I go back. I'm leaving tomorrow, actually. Josh?
All right. How's the weather there in Houston? Are you just freezing?
29 degrees and very cold. I just fed the dogs and their bowls were just full of ice. So, right. It rained last night and then froze. And so it's just awful. Tell you right now, do not be out on the roads. I hope everybody is nice and warm. Stay indoors. It is not safe to be out there. There's a reason why they cancel schools. There's a reason why, they tell us to stay at home because we don't want to be out there and getting in trouble and slipping and sliding. So stay warm. Look, nice hot chocolate. Yummy, yummy. And just hunker down.
All right. So remember, if you want to be part of the Fantastic Four, reach out to us. But most importantly, the PGP podcast. We need your experience. It doesn't matter what level. This is not a niche show. The PGP podcast has everything from retirees to superintendents to APs to principals to cafeteria workers, national speakers, national authors. This has the whole gamut because you know what? Education has so many niches. So if you bring something to the table, you got 2 years, 3 years under your belt, reach out to us. There will be a show that we could make sure that you're part of and bring that knowledge because it doesn't matter if you're in Maine. It doesn't matter if you're in Florida. It doesn't matter if you're in Alaska. It doesn't matter if you're in Hawaii or anywhere in the 48 middle. You bring that knowledge. And you know what? Right now, we all know that education is broke. We can't be taking 6 people to Las Vegas to a conference. We can't take 6 people to Boston to a conference anymore. Those days are out. Back in the Jurassic period when I started, you could do that. Not anymore. So this is the type of free PD, Super Saturday type of free PD just for you. And now it's time for the Chinchilagua moment. Chinchilagua, Dan is like, do you buy that at Taco Bell? No, Dan, you don't buy Chinchilagua at Taco Bell. Chinchilagua is a Mexican Guatemalteco game where you line up against the wall with all your family members and you yell, Chinchilagua y arriba boy. And then you jump on top of your grandma. You jump on top of your tia Petra. You jump on top of everybody, human pyramid, until it all comes crashing down. It's all fun and games. Until something happens. Well, the moment today, or the Chinchilagua moment, and it breaks, true, is, look, be happy where you're at. This is the time where all districts, I don't know about North Carolina, talk to me, Virginia, tell me, New York, tell me if you're on the call. But this is the time that we send out the transfer papers.
Hmm.
So the district sends out, hey, if you want to transfer, the transfer fair will be on this day. If you're looking for jobs, every district will be telling you, hey, this is when we have openings. If you're not happy where you're at right now, when you got hired, you were very thrilled, very enthusiastic for that culture right there. And sometimes that campus might not be the fit for you. You
Mm-hmm.
realize it, whether it be the administration, whether it be the way the pedagogy is, whatever it is. It's okay to not feel comfortable somewhere. Just be happy wherever you're at. So put in that information. If you got to interview and go somewhere else to find that happy place, because if you're not happy, guess what? The kids are not happy. Your
Mm-hmm.
collaborative team is not happy. Your campus PLC is not happy because you might not make it an enjoyable place to be around you. So it's very important that you find the niche. And trust me, right now, educators with tenure, you are free agents. You can find your place out there because as an experienced administrator, I'm going to want somebody that has already taught before,
Mm-hmm.
someone that has that experience with discipline issues, someone that has all that brings to the table. So don't be miserable in a place, but also please make sure that you tell your administration, because though you might not like something, your department head, you might not like your team leads, you might not like your assistant principal, whatever it is, don't affect the kids, because there are some people, take it from me, 33 years in this game, there's people that wait till the end because they want to punish administration. They want to teach you a lesson. You're not teaching me a lesson, you're hurting me. I'm finding the best fit for the school
Mm-hmm.
afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important that you let us know, just out of professional courtesy, just like maybe that administrator had the professional courtesy of hiring you, had the
Mm-hmm.
professional courtesy of letting them know, hey, you know what? I'm going to be looking for other opportunities somewhere else. And hey, you know what, administrator? If they find someone, can you release them? I dislike that game. Man, there's some administrators out there,
Yeah.
petty, cheap games. When someone asks me and they interview, go. I try to release you as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I want you to leave quick. I don't. I'm not gonna hold you 2 weeks. And there's some petty administrators that say until I find a replacement. Why? You just made the toxicity worse
Worse.
for your kids.
Mhm.
Oh no! But you gotta show your power. You gotta show your authority, and then you're gonna punish the other school that has been looking for somebody. So you know what? Release them. It's better for everybody. And then if you
Mhm.
are not happy there, please make sure that you find, and I'll tell you this in closing before I hand it over to Dr. Moreno. I can guarantee you something. If you're not happy where you're at, I can guarantee you one thing, 100%. The grass is not always greener on
Mhm.
the other side. What do you think, Dr. Moreno?
Josh, it goes back to that relationship and that relationship building because you're absolutely right. I know why teachers don't want to tell their administrator because what happens then is, you're on this list and they're going to treat you bad and all this other good stuff, right? That happens. And so I tell my administrators all the time, let them go. Just if they don't want to be there, let them go. Why are you holding them? Right? There's no reason. And you're absolutely right. I remember when I would try and hire somebody and they're like, oh, it's because my principal doesn't want to release me and until they find somebody. So what you're saying is on point. And it's really sad that we pretend that we're holding this power that we're gonna get them back or something. But at the end of the day, you just have to kind of do what's best for kids. What's best for kids because at the end of the day, that's what matters. So
Right.
so yeah, so go out there and just be upfront with your administrator, and say I really enjoyed my time here. Unfortunately, I'd like to go somewhere else. Have that conversation and be candid and be upfront. And absolutely, you're absolutely right, Josh. The grass isn't always greener on the other side, but I do sometimes agree that the fit isn't there. And if the shoe doesn't fit, if it's not a good place for you, then please do what's best and find somewhere else to go because it's not going to get any better if you're just going to come in with this crappy attitude.
Exactly. So speaking about that is making sure that we have always a flashback and go back to episode 79 where we had the very first Leadership 101 show with Dr. Megan Ward, Jerome Tompkins, Dr. Edwin Garcia, Raquel Fraga, and Donovan Smalls II. But today we have our panel for Leadership 101 number 2 in the house. They're coming in. I don't know what's going on. with these buttons. I think they're frozen, Moreno. They got frostbite.
I
Welcome, panel. Welcome to the PGP podcast. Muchas gracias. And I hand it over to Dr. Mari Moreno. Stick, Moreno.
Thank you, Josh. Guys, I'm super excited to have you guys because I love Education Leadership 101 because this is a place where principals, if they don't know what to do or don't know how to do it, you guys are totally going to give them the nuggets that they need. So I'm excited to have you guys here because we're going to drop some knowledge all over the place here. But before we get started, we must share with everybody who you are and a little bit of background so that they know kind of your street cred, what kind of experience do you guys have? So we're going to start off with Dan. Dan, let's go ahead and give the audience a brief background on your different roles that you've served while in education, and then which one was your favorite and why?
All right. Sounds good. My name is Dan Wolf from Pasco County Schools in Florida. And this is my 28th year in education. I have been a classroom teacher, a math curriculum coach, a curriculum specialist for a regional team, K-12, where we served 18 Title I schools. Wow. I've been an administrator for 11 years, and my new role now is I'm a program coordinator, and I oversee all the evaluations. So I train all the new administrators and also the new teachers to learn about the evaluation system, and I like to call that more of as a growth model as opposed to evaluation. So,
okay. Which one's your favorite?
You know what I said. Probably my most favorite is probably the one I'm currently in right now. I do miss the kids and everything, being at the schools and everything. I don't miss the politics as much, but but what I'm able to do is, because of all my experiences I've had, I'm able to look at it through the lens of whoever I support. And be able to, help them become their best selves. Because I feel if I can pay it forward, it can just have that positive domino effect that we're really wanting in education.
That is awesome. Thank you. And with all that curriculum background, we're sure going to get some great advice from you. So thank you so much for being with us. Is it cold in Florida?
It's like in the high 70s and 80s. Our Florida snowman is melted. So
it's gone. Okay. I just had to ask because it's like cold everywhere. So
right.
Thank you. Let's go with Dr. Alma.
Hi, everyone. Blessed Sunday. I am in San Antonio currently, and it is 36 degrees. Ooh. And feels like 23. So, everyone's layering up, bundling up, and San Antonio is just a great city. And I'll tell you that I've been in education for 22 plus years now. Started as a 5th grade teacher, then did 6 years as an assistant principal, 3 years as a principal, 3 years as an executive director, and now I am closing off with 3 years as an assistant superintendent of schools.
Wow.
I will tell you, of all of those roles, the one that's really close to my heart and I never forget the learnings is being a teacher. Everything I know about leadership is from the classroom. And so, yes, super warm and fuzzy when I think back of my days of teaching, being in the classroom, building the relationships, getting to know the students, and doing all the things that make a great leader be who they are.
Wow, you definitely have lots and lots of experience. So can't wait to hear all you have to drop as far as the knowledge today. So awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. And last but not least, my friend, Dr. Fenner.
Hi, everyone. I am Dr. Shanessa Fenner, and I am a principal in the Cumberland County School System in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I first started off as an elementary school teacher. For 6 years, I taught 1st and 2nd grade. And then for 4 years, I was an assistant principal. Prior to becoming an assistant principal, I was in the Principal Fellows Program. Of course, that was 2 years. And then for the remainder of the time, I've been a principal of 4 schools. My first school was an all kindergarten school. My second school was a middle school, and my third and current school are elementary schools. This is my 31st year in education, and my favorite role, of course, has been principal. I love how we have a family atmosphere at my school, and we all get our heads together to collaborate and talk about what's going to work best for our babies. And I just love being a principal.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Josh. We have such a great panel. We have office staff, right? We have central administration. We have someone who's been or is a current principal now and has everything as far as all the different roles that we can think of. So, Josh, it's going to be a fabulous podcast.
Most definitely. But before we go into question number 2, big shout out to our coach, our number 1 cheerleader, Dot McKeever Jeter. Thank you for being here. Love ya. Central Hicks. Brr, yeah, right. He's a fellow Texan. It's frozen right here. Rella Hicks, thank you for being here and joining us. Let us know in the comments where you're coming from and how's the weather in your part. Let's timestamp this. Let us know where you're at. I know that Dot is in Illinois. Coach here in Texas. I don't know. Rella, where you at, Rella? Let us know right now. Oh, I know it's not snowing. The Costa Ajito, he's in Ghana, and I know it doesn't snow right there. A truly international show. So let's start off with Doc Fenner. Let me ask you this question, very simple one. Who or what motivated you to become an educator, and how were your parents influential in getting you to this place in your life? Who or what motivated you?
I was going to say my mother. My mother, Josh, first started off as a teacher, and then she eventually became a social worker. Education runs in our family. My sister is a principal. My cousin is a high school teacher. My mother, like I said, was a teacher. And then when she retired, she was a social worker. So education runs in our family, Josh. And that is what motivated and inspired me. And of course, as a teacher, you're responsible for your babies only. But as a principal, you get, of course, the opportunity to be involved and be a part of all of it. You get to make sure that all the moving parts are in order. So I'd have to say my mother is who inspired me, of course, to become an educator.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing. Dr. Alma, ¿qué pasó con usted?
Oh man, I have to think back to both of my grandmothers. See, my Mexican grandmother, she learned how to read, write, and count on her own. She lived in a little ranch in Mexico, and she told me the story about how she learned herself how to write cursive, how to sign her name, how to read and write and do arithmetic. And so she always told me, stay in school. You got this. Even when the days are challenging, stay in school. And so on the other side, I also had a German grandma who was very into global politics and instilled in me a love for reading and having dialogues about what was happening in the world. And so for her, it was always very clear cut and sending messages of figure it out. There's no excuses. You got this. Come with a solution. So both of these ladies were very integral in me wanting to explore education and know the powers that education brings to not only individual students but families and communities. And so I'll tell you, these two ladies have been the rocks of my life and inspired me to fulfill like my dreams through education. And so kudos to both of my grandmas who are now in heaven.
Qué bonito. How beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
That's very touching in the way that you express it. Really hear the spirit behind it. Love it. Love it. You know what? Just a quick note. Isn't that amazing, Moreno? How COVID taught us so much to do stuff from home. And now a lot of the states are back at closing schools and not doing long distance learning. Isn't that amazing? Just
That
reading
is.
what Rella Hicks said, that though they're not going to school because of a freeze warning, they're still going to have school virtually. But a lot of states are going back to the old pre-COVID. Oh, well, it is what it is. You just got to be in amazement at times. Joven Wolf in Florida. How did you become an educator? What inspired you? And how did your parents help you out along the way?
Yeah. So who inspired me was Miss Vance. She was we had child development course that I took in high school, where you got to work with preschoolers and do like observations and things and just learn and grow. And it just really, just seeing the impact that I had on the little ones and everything really ignited that fire. And then my parents always taught me how the power of serving and giving back and paying it forward. And what better way than to be an educator? You know, it's definitely a bucket filler. To do that, and then that's where your impact and your legacy or whatever can be instilled in with the kids that you serve, and even the parents and the relationships and that you build along the way. You know, and you know, hopefully they will also pay it forward.
Yes, sir. Welcome to Dr. Melissa Jones Chunu from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who's suffering with us in this part of the United States right now. Dan. Very true. I agree with that. Hey, Da Costa, I try to look at, I didn't see anything on the direct messages. Send it again right now. So right now we're going to go back the next couple of questions. We're going to pick your brain. Very simple. We're going to present a topic for you and just tell us what worked, one thing that has worked that you've seen in this area, and one thing that didn't work. Because we all know that right now, in January, there's a lot of new administrators, a lot of people get hired as principals and assistant principals. I see it on social media. Congratulations. Be careful what you wish for.
New position.
I just get it. So right now, this is the point of the PGP podcast, that we bring the knowledge to where you don't have to break your nose that bad. You have to break your nose, but not that bad. Because trust me, some of those are gushing bloods right there when you really mess up. So we're going to start off with our very first question. Dr. Moreno, stick.
Awesome. You know, guys, this is going to be a super easy, well, maybe not so easy, because, you know, sometimes it could be a little tricky. But I know, because I was just at a district last week where they're talking about school attendance.
Oh, yes.
Because for whatever reason, something's happening and they just haven't gotten out of this Christmas vacation. Attendance is just terrible. So I'm going to start off with Dr. Alma. I'm going to start off with you, ma'am. Talk a little bit about your experience as far as something that you've seen or done, or what you've done maybe district-wide as far as helping and supporting your schools, or maybe when you were a principal, what worked as far as bringing up school attendance, and then something that you tried and it was like, that did not work at all. So just to kind of help those administrators out there who are tasked to kind of help them with their school attendance.
Yeah, absolutely. Attendance is a big one. Even back when I was a campus principal, now supporting campus leaders, attendance has always been one that we keep a really close eye on for many reasons. One of the main reasons is that we know that if our students are not in the classroom, they're not learning. And so why do we want the students in the classroom? Why do we want them to be learning? And what conditions do we want to create for them to be able to come to school and feel like I belong here and this is something that it's meaningful to me? And so creating a culture in the classroom, on campuses, or across feeder patterns that celebrate students, that has activities for them, that they have events to look forward to, that they have field trips, right? That where they have ownership in the classrooms of their learnings, and then they're able to share with others and speak and laugh and create and explore outside areas. Some green time versus screen time is also very important nowadays. What I find is that's correlated to attendance is student engagement. If you're walking into classrooms and you're not seeing students talking, creating in groups, problem solving, doing real world experiences, or collaborating or using technology, then guys, that's a sign that our students are bored. They're not going to want to come to school. It's not meaningful for them. And then, you know, they question like, why do I want to go to schools if I just have the booklet open, or I'm just doing handouts? And I have my fifth grader, my son, who always tells me, Mom, I can't talk. I can't talk in the classroom. I can't talk in the hallways. I can't talk in the cafeteria. The only time I can talk is in gymnasium class or recess. And that's an hour out of the 6 hours that our students are with us. So he keeps it very real with me. And it makes me reflect that at the bottom of what we're doing, our service is to our students. So we have to be very clear in designing those conditions where they're going to want to engage, feel a sense of belonging, and then also learn in a fun, exciting way where we're bringing innovating practices in the classroom, across schools, and theater patterns. Guys, what doesn't work are punitive approaches to students and to families and to communities. That will never work. It's going to backfire. You're going to lose trust. And most importantly, it's just not healthy. It's not healthy for anyone. It just rises a level of stress in everyone. And then finally, what I would say to educators is, know your students, know your families, know why they're being absent, right? Run reports by categories, by codes to say how many absences were for illnesses, how many absences were for families that were going out of the country, how many absences were for X, Y, and Z. And so that gives you more information to know what's happening in regards to attendance. But all in all, what I found is that you engage the kids, you make learning fun, you give them experiences that they've never had, and you look something to look forward to. They'll be there, and they'll nudge their parents. Wake up, take me. I can't be absent. I need to be there. And so it works.
Yep. Oh my goodness, awesome, great examples. I can remember a time where I was at a new school, and the administrator was suspending 3 days. It was a 3-day suspension because they were skipping school. So they were skipping, and so they're going to give a 3-day suspension. It's like, what? You don't want to be in school, right? So then all you did is just gave them permission. So absolutely, being punitive is one way that doesn't work. So awesome, Dr. Alma. Dr. Feener.
Yes. And of course, at my school, there's always been an issue with attendance as well as tardies. Okay. So, of course, our SIT team put our heads together to come up with a number of strategies that we could use. Now, outside of my social worker, we all know that social workers have their duties as well. Okay. My social worker on a monthly basis, she will place those 3, 6, 9, and 10-day letters in my mailbox to sign. And of course, those letters are given to the parents to let them know that, hey, little Josh has missed 6 days. Of course, we make sure that we explain to the parents how many mommy me or mommy me excuse letters that they can use as well. And we're always talking about how in Cumberland County Schools, every minute counts. We need you there for the ELA block, that IE block, which is our enrichment intervention block, math block. We need you there because when you're not there, you're not getting that crucial instruction. We have an end of grade test that they take in May. And of course, along the way, there are benchmark tests that they take. And we want them, of course, to be prepared and do very well with them. Now, one of the things that's been very successful at our school is when we have what we call attendance no tardy parties. Okay. What happens is every 9 weeks, we see who's been in attendance every day. And you also have not had any tardies. And you can come to our been there every day, attendance no tardy party. And here's what it consists of. On a Friday afternoon, your name will be called. You'll report to the multipurpose room. My PE teacher, Coach B, she has this wonderful big screen and she puts on some music. And of course, there's some movements going and the babies go in there and they have a good time and they go along and dance with the music. We have snacks, chips and drinks and candy and everything. There's an area where they can go and sit and have their drinks and candy as well. And that has been something that's been very, very positive. That's been, of course, yielded great results. We've also had situations where I've been at other schools and we would have one grade level against another grade level to see, okay, which grade level, of course, came to school the most. And of course, whichever grade level was at school the most, you would either get pizza or a popsicle or maybe a bag of chips or something. But we've always come up with those kind of incentives. But the attendance no tardy parties have been the ones that have yielded great results.
Awesome. Have you ever encountered something that just didn't work? Like you tried it and it was a flop?
No, I sure haven't, because like I said, our SIT team gets together and we come up with all these ideas, and I'm a trial and error kind of person, but everything seemed to work. But it's the no tardy parties where they can go and shake their bonbon and have a good time that they really prefer to do.
That is awesome. Congrats. And that's good. They're socializing, having fun, and you can't not have snacks, right?
That's
so
right.
Awesome. Last but not least, Dan, come on. What do you got for me?
So everything comes down to relationships. So it's one thing, even when I was school-based administrator, not just the teachers, but as an administrator as well, connecting with them. I know Oprah Winfrey had written a book, What Happened to You? And basically that's the question you need to ask, is what happened, not what's wrong with you, what happened. Find out. So when, our teachers will go ahead and call after a couple of days of missing, school, how can we best support you? If they didn't have an alarm clock or whatever, we'd go ahead and whatever funds we'd have, we'd get the family an alarm clock. If they had trouble, getting them because, the father just lost their job or whatever, we try to be able to see what we could do to kind of donate and get like gas cards or something to help them get to school. Anything to go ahead and build that within there, because we need them on board and the importance behind it. And it's not so much for a test or anything, it's life skills. They're a piece of that classroom. They're a piece of our community. And any piece that's missing does not make us whole. And that's what we want. They are a missing piece of that education foundation any day that they're not there. And then just like everybody else had said, the engagement things of all those things. And really any idea, it's only the ideas that aren't attempted that are the ones that don't work, because you never took the leap. We talk about vulnerability all the time. Things are always going to change. How many times in our career we had to pivot over the years before we had technology and everything else? We've pivoted along. We pivoted during the COVID. We're going to pivot with the attendance. Things are changing all the time. And, you've just got to go with, see what's going to work. And if that didn't work, you try something else, and you reach out to beyond your school district, beyond your communities. We're all one team. So we've just got to, with one goal, and that's to do the best for our kids. So
I love it, Dan. What you did was thinking outside the box, right? I mean, there were some great examples by the ladies, but you turned it around and you said, we got to look at what are the other obstacles that some of our families face. And I love that whole idea of looking at and building those relationships with those parents and saying, what can we do? What can we do to help you? So guys, thank you so much. Like and share the PGP podcast, you guys. There's that little button right there. Go ahead and like it and share it. There's so many great opportunities right here for other people to listen and pick up some of this awesome knowledge. So if you're on YouTube, share it, share the channel, like the channel, and make sure that we are making that algorithm continue to kind of spread the wealth of knowledge to more people, Josh, because this is so cool.
Exactly. You can see the experience right here on the panel. Love it. Love it. Welcome, Robert Hinchcliffe, author of 15 Great Principles, More Than Just a Principal. And we will have more than more than just an assistant principal in a couple of weeks. Hey, Dr. Jones-Chunu, are you going to be part of that panel? Let me know. I know that Robert reached out to you right there. So real quick, like I said, one good example, one not so good example. And the next topic is this. Give the audience, give the panel, we'll start off with you, Dan, all right? About how you build, or what it took, or what you observed, or what you witnessed to build good delivery of instruction in the class.
Well, I think one of the things is, now you mean as an administrator or anything supporting in that?
Yeah. What did you bring, or what have you observed either as a teacher or as an AP?
Absolutely.
That you witnessed and on a campus. Yeah. Hey, when we tried this, our colleagues in the classroom were able to deliver instruction a better way?
Well, first and foremost, when I became an administrator, I made a promise to myself and to any staff that I served never to forget what it was like in the classroom. And not that it's done intentionally or anything, just time and everything. Sometimes administrators forget. And that's why being in trainings, being a part of those kinds of things, being in the trenches with them, alongside them, learning with them. Really, I think the one benefit thing that I saw was our district went ahead and had school-wide training around Kagan strategies and those engagement strategies within there. And again, if implemented, and I know it's not the greatest word to use, but with fidelity, it really has to be that consistency behind it. That's where I really saw more bang for your buck, to be able to reach those unreachable students that needed something. Because again, I always tell my teachers that I'm training and everything, you should not be the sage on the stage. You're the facilitator of the knowledge. Whoever's doing the thinking is doing the learning. And we want the students to go home at the end of the day tired, not us. I said, so you've got to figure out ways to bring ownership in there, no matter what grade level it is, because you can do it with kindergarten. You can do it all the way up through 12th grade. It is possible. I've seen it done, but it's like, and then having exemplars within your school, having people go visit other people to learn, to say, I'm really struggling in this area of instruction. How can I get better? Oh, this person has great questioning techniques. Go visit them. And then you set up schedules where you can get coverage and things for them to go ahead and take. And then you do praises and pushes, glow and grows, those kinds of things. So everybody's giving feedback, because again, we're all going towards the same goal. It isn't 28 different teachers. It's all one school, one culture. And that's what I saw that's benefited.
Did you see something that like, we shouldn't try?
Well, things have changed so much in education. It's kind of hard to, every time you get comfortable with something, I think it's, sometimes we pivot too quickly. We don't, just because if we don't see something working right away, we abort it and we go to something else without giving that time and that grace and everything within it. And I just, because again, it's about the process, not the product. And I think sometimes in education, we miss that part because we're so worried about what the scores are going to be in June and everything, which is important, but that's not building the sustainability. It can't sustain itself on scores alone.
I think you used the right word, which is fidelity. I don't know why you hesitated on that, because sometimes we make education too complicated. There was this scene in Remember the Titans where one coach told the other coach, I only run 6th place, and it's gotten me all these championships. I've only ran the same with fidelity. And so it's about being faithful to the game plan that you have to ensure student success. But then everyone has to be wearing the same uniform. Everyone has to be wearing the same socks to ensure in classes there's a schedule change, the kid can receive the same great instruction in one teacher than in the other one. Doc Ferner, talk to us.
Yes. Oh, I love that you asked this question, because I have a very long answer. I've got quite a few that I like to share. The first thing, Josh, is staff development. Okay, we make sure that our teachers have that effective staff development. They know, for example, we use high yield strategies in our county. We want to make sure that the babies are collaborating with one another. We want to hear their conversations and make sure that they're using that content academic vocabulary when they're having a discussion. In our school system, I'm a big stickler on not only letting my teachers visit other classrooms, but I let them visit classrooms in other schools as well. And not only when they do that, we take them with this sheet that has questions on it, and you have to come back and tell us what you learned. And then we have to come in your classroom as a follow-up to see you actually implement it as well. Another practice that I think is very effective is I have 2 awesome instructional coaches at my school. They do what's called coaching cycles. They work with various teachers on the various areas that they need help in. And they also co-teach with our teachers, which is very important. They go in the classrooms, they stand beside the teacher, and they're teaching. And the teacher, of course, she's standing there and she's learning as well. So we have a lot of great things that we do to make sure that every teacher in Cumberland County knows what effective instruction looks like. We also go in the classrooms daily to use our NESIS observation system and Elliott observation system so that they get that immediate and actionable feedback. We also have conversations about data. Our PLCs are very collaborative where they share those effective known strategies in the classrooms, and we make sure that in PLCs we're collaborating, we're sharing activities so that when you go in each second grade classrooms, you can tell that they've planned and they're all aligned. So those are the various things that I think are very effective for teachers so that they can know what effective instruction looks like.
Love it. What about a Pac-Man moment? Boo, 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 boo. Something that didn't work.
You know what, Josh? I can't think of anything that didn't work. And I know I keep saying that when you all ask me that, but everything seems to, it seems to work, because it's helping to improve teaching and learning, which is the main thing. So, I can't think of anything that just didn't work.
Love it. Dr. Alma, platícame.
Oh man, so many great things have been shared. I'm thinking a little bit at the administrative level of how we can scale this impact in teaching and learning. And so I always go back, as I mentioned earlier, to what worked for me as a teacher. And it was visiting the classrooms, having time in the PLCs to unpack the TEAC, to deconstruct, to plan for vocabulary, to plan for the activities. And then most importantly, like when I returned to the classroom for implementation, that I had administrations that were calibrated, that they were both telling me the same thing and they were giving me good feedback. And so that's what doesn't work. What doesn't work is that you're providing professional development, you're providing time in PLC for collaboration, you're providing learning walk opportunities, but then the feedback that you get is not calibrated. And it creates this nuance in your mind as to who do I listen to? What do I do? What is right? And there's this frustration level that permeates that makes all our work not become effective, successful, and be implemented with fidelity. So a lot of great stuff. Just that's only negative information. And advice I would give is just be sure that admin, central office, they're calibrated and aligned to what we want to see so that we can have some cohesiveness in how we approach support our teachers.
And Josh, somebody asked a question about Cumberland County. I think Coach Central did. And the answer to that, Coach Central, is yes. Yes, sweetie, we do.
Love it. Love it. Interaction, both on the podcast and in the classroom. Can't go wrong with that. And I'm going to let you know, we started that last year in my home. We had a couple, I think less than, maybe like around 60 instructional rounds. And it really helped set the tone. We are right now at over 2,100 instructional rounds. 2,100.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting you know that once they see the success in other classrooms, success breeds success. And you're beyond your little blinders of I only do middle school math. I only do because those are blinders. And when we see that the same pedagogy can take place in other classrooms and adjust to whatever it is, ELAR, science, or whatever, insert your topic, a best practice. And some people don't like that. I love it. I'm sorry, I'm old. I love best practices, which are effective for student success. And if the kids are successful, the teachers feel comfortable going home and they don't feel like they're carrying all the mountain, as it was said previously. Moreno, stick.
Yes. Awesome. Guys, those are some great ideas. I think, Dr. Feener, you're just so amazing because you are a planner. So because you plan, it always comes out successful. Because I can tell you, there's some people that I know that they're very reactive.
Yes.
Right. And so when they're reactive like that, what happens then is sometimes things don't kind of go well. And they flop because they didn't really think through it. So I think that's why you're a very successful principal, because you're a planner. So I was just kind of admiring you. I was like, oh my gosh, you remind me so much of me.
Thank you, Doc.
So, okay. So let's go on to the next topic. And it looks like, Dr. Feener, this is your first one. Okay. So we're going to start off with you. And again, what worked well and what may not have worked. I know when I walk into schools, you can feel the
Yes.
school culture.
Yes, you can,
Right?
baby. Yes.
There's some schools that I walk in and I mean, you can feel it. It's in the air, right? Where it's just a bad vibe and there's just something going on. So can you tell me, how do you build a positive school culture?
Well, at first, it starts with me. I'm the leader, and I model it every day. Okay. When you first come to our school, you walk through the door, of course, after you push the button, and we've got our weapons detection unit there. And I'm standing there with these 3 handsome gentlemen who are staff members, and we're saying, good morning, hey, baby. And I go, welcome back. The babies come in, they hug on me, they love on me, they go and get their grab and go breakfast, go to class, they eat their breakfast, and after that, they do their morning work. And then, of course, after that, the teacher follows up with that morning meeting, of course, to set the day. I've been at this school, Doc. This is my 13th year at this school. This is my 4th school as a principal, and this is my 13th year. And it has taken me quite some time to build this. Now, let me tell you what happened my first year at this school, and I can share this with you. My first year at this school, I came from my last school, which was called Alger B. Wilkins Elementary School. And what happened is that school was closed down. So we were told we were going to W.T. Brown. And then, of course, W.T. Brown's family was there. Okay. So that first year as a principal, we didn't have unity. It was W.T. Brown against Alger B. Wilkins. Okay. And I had teachers who would call me on my cell phone in the morning, because I get to work between 5 and 5:15 every morning. And they would call me on my cell phone and they would go, Dr. Fenner, I don't want to come in because they're so mean. They're so mean to us, And it took me a whole year to get everybody on that unified front. And I mean, I worked. We did team building activities. We worked together. And I finally got it to where I needed to get to. But it first started with me and the AP who had been there, showing them that, hey, they're a team. And our motto is one team, one dream. We're one team, one dream. We're here for the babies. It's all about the babies. We're going to put all our differences aside, all of our attitudes and personalities. We are one, and nobody's going anywhere. We're all staying here. And it did take some time. We did a lot of team building activities. I got to know them. I'm a very open, approachable, and accessible person. You can never say you can't get in contact with me. They've got my cell phone numbers. I've got 3 numbers. They got to have them all. Email me, text me. You can always get in touch with Dr. Fenner. They know they can come to me to tell me what they're going through. Doc, I had a bad day. I need a personal day tomorrow, and they know they can come to me. And of course, that takes time. But through the years, they've noticed, okay, this woman, and I'm also a very no-nonsense, blunt and straightforward leader as well. I call it a spade, okay? If it's a spade, I'm going to call it a spade. I'm not going to call it a heart. It's a spade, okay? So I'm also very blunt, straightforward, and that, of course, makes them feel comfortable, and they can come to me and talk to me about anything. I have the kind of teachers that'll say to me, Doc, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow because my Xanax prescription needs to be up. The dosage needs to be up because it's not working for me. That's how tight I am with my staff members. We're real close like that. But it takes time. And I've built those relationships through the years. Whenever they need me, I'm there. I've had teachers that have had to, for example, I'm in a little area called Spring Lake. I've had a teacher one morning, she wasn't feeling good. They checked her blood pressure. I jumped in the car. I ran over there to make sure she was okay. I've got teachers when they're out, whatever they need, I will send it to them. I'll call them, email them, text them, whatever you need. I've been to graduations. I've been to baby showers. I've been to funerals. Whatever you need, I go to the house when something happens. If you need food, whatever you need, I am there for you.
And Dr. Fenner, what about a bad example? Because I'm sure you have. Do you have a bad example?
When I first got there, everybody wasn't receptive, so I kind of had to fall back a little bit. I may have been kind of too too pushy when I first got there, trying to maybe kind of make them get to know me. So I kind of had to fall back. So I may have been a little bit too aggressive when I first got there. But after
because they didn't know you. I think it's because they didn't know you. They felt like this person is just too much. Like the kids say, "Miss, you're doing too much." Right.
But then after they got to know me and saw that it's genuine and that I'm authentic, everything was okay. But I'm the kind of person, like I said, you've got to show them that you care. And every day I show them that I care, I'm accessible, whatever they need, I'm there. If you're working on your master's degree, hey, I will read your paper for you. We also have a shout outs and all for kudos and accomplishments. I acknowledge everything that they do. Children
awesome. So awesome. Thank you so much. Those are some great examples. And I can tell that they love you. They just love you.
Thank you, Dr.
Dan, how about you? School culture, sir. What can you tell me? A good, and just give me one example that you can share with me.
Sure. No, and I'll just kind of go off what Josh had said earlier about, the administrators coming in at this time of the year. I've had that happen a couple of times, even right after testing. I then had a month left at a new school, so I was going in between schools. The first thing to do is be an observer and watch the culture you're going into there. Watch for trends, things like that. And then you slowly start building those relationships. What kinds of things would they want to see improved? That this phrase is Rome wasn't built in a day. Picking what those big things are. I've even in the past have done surveys as I was coming in as an assistant principal or whatever. What do you see in a leader? What are things that you like about a leader? What don't you like? So that I could really see what I was dealing with. And just me asking those questions in the beginning already increased the culture. They were so happy that I was wanting to know what they thought. Because again, that's what's going to build the culture. It's a team effort within there. I've always been a Maslow before Bloom with the philosophy, with everything. And that's really what's going to get to where you want to be. And once the culture is established, it doesn't mean it. You've got to see how to continue to build and to have it grow. And then once you're doing that with your staff, then it goes into the classrooms and checking in with them, getting to know people and their families. Asking questions, not always about curriculum and things like that, but how's your husband doing? How's your wife doing? How are the kids doing? Oh, so-and-so's in college now. What are they? So that you really get to know them as people, just like you want to know the kids and the families that you're serving. That's what's really going to, and that's the one thing that teachers and kids can see. They can read through whether you're being authentic or whether you're not. And if you are being authentic, they will go ahead and jump the highest for you to go ahead and get to things. Now, as far as things that I've seen that hasn't worked for a culture, it is when you don't start with those things. You're about, we've got to improve these test scores. We've got to get this. You're putting all this. They already have the pressure there. The pressure's already there. That's not what's giving more pressure is not going to all of a sudden miraculously turn it around. It's being able to pinpoint the problem, diagnose it, and then be able together fix it.
Yes. What you basically said is walk and listen. You got to get out of your office, right? You got to get out of the office. You have to walk those classrooms, walk the hallways, and listen to what people like, what they don't like, and then build upon their strengths already. So many principals walk in and want to change everything when stuff was already working, and people get upset about that. So thank you so much, Dan. Dr. Alma, I know you have an example and a non-example for me.
Definitely. How you show up matters, right? You project the energy, you project the happiness, you project the motivation you have to see good things happening. And then how you show up and what you show up with is most important. Are you showing up with a hammer? Or are you showing up with a spotlight? And then also thinking about how is it that these actions or feedback that I'm providing are going to be perceived? And so then I know Dan mentioned, if you move too fast in these actions or goals that we want to reach, and you look back and there's no one behind you, hey guys, that's a sign we need to pause. We need to pause, and sometimes our brain goes 100 miles per hour, and our bodies and our, our nervous system hasn't caught up to what we're asking our folks to do. So we need to pause a little bit, do some temperature checks. How are you? How are you doing? Just making sure they're good. Simple things as providing them coffee, making sure they have bottles of water, right? That you ask about their families, and then most importantly, you use more of a flashlight than a hammer to lead with empathy, to lead with respect, with dignity, and knowing that we got this collectively. We might not be where we want to be, but soon it with teamwork and knowing that we respect each other and we're going to be there and we value each other, we see each other, we hear each other. It was going to get in a good place. It's going to be in a good place. So that humanistic aspect to how we lead is very important.
I even wrote that down. Hammer versus spotlight. Because I was like, you're going to show up with a hammer or you're going to show up with a spotlight? I love that. That's pretty cool. Josh, I love this. That was a very good question.
Yes, I agree with that one. But Rella, I'm perplexed. That's my fancy word. That's my fancy English word of the day. This Hispanic just perplexed. What do you mean by that? Elaborate on that question. I don't know what that means. I'm intrigued by what you wrote. Welcome to my sister from South Carolina, Dr. Shika Houston. Muchas gracias. From New Jersey, our brand new principal in the spring semester, Dr. Edwin Garcia. Thank you for being here right now. All right, guys. And I agree with everything that was said in regards to the whole culture. And one thing that I don't think anyone said, but your walls speak for you.
True.
Yeah.
Your walls speak for you. And when I say you, I'm talking about you, the person in charge. Air quotes, fake power. The person in the chair. The walls speak for you, and your front office speaks for you. Those two things right there. A parent, someone from central office will know the second you walk in. If you got 6 kids screwing around because they got kicked out of class, and you give that discipline issue to the secretaries, they're the ones that's supposed to take care of kids' discipline while they're waiting for you to come in. That's mass chaos. And an hourly individual should not be putting up with a kid's misbehavior, but yet you let them sit there for a long time. Tisk, tisk. Because that parent is going to come in pulling their kid, and they're going to see that chaos, and it's not fair to the receptionist. It's not fair to your attendance clerk that they have to deal with. I'm sorry, your job. And as they like to tell us, that's why they pay you the big bucks. So please make sure that your culture starts off with how the moment people enter, or if people walk in your hallways, is it dead? Is it just the paint? Is there any quality student work outside? Is there quality products that are being put out there? Because you know what? Kids like to see their work posted. And you know what? It's what your vision sitting in the chair. Is that your vision? Or your vision is just to have clean walls? Would you like to have your kid in that type of school? I don't know. That's a question I ask myself. So speaking about that real quick, school discipline. Now, guys, you can't eat up all the pie. I just want one. You can't eat up all the pie. I need you to give me one good example that you've seen that improves school discipline, and one that's like, oh Lord, don't ever try that one again. Obviously, we know that it's all tied to school culture. We know that, and it's alpha and omega. The administrative team, whether it be a 6A school with 3,000 kids or whether it be a small 200 kid school. Little schools can be out of whack, out of control. Doesn't matter as long as what the vision is, what you allow. So I'm going to start with you, Dr. Alma. Just give me one. I don't want you to eat up all the pie because Dan might want to say that. Dr. Fender might want to say that. Let's not eat up all the pie. So Dr. Alma, give me one strategy that you have seen, you have implemented that helps lower those discipline numbers, and one that you tried that you're like, oh, that was a stinker. We'll never try that one again.
Yes, Josh. Thank you for that question. It's very important to know first and foremost that you cannot discipline students if you don't have the support structures for them. So you can't expect a child to behave in a certain way if we don't have a PBIS system, if we haven't communicated expectations, if we don't have classroom management, if the campus is not bought in into how we're going to dignify our disciplinary approach with our students. So we cannot provide consequences to students when those things are not in place, when those systems are in place. And so what I will say, what has worked for me is knowing that students are learning and they're growing, specifically our middle school and our high school students. We should not be penalizing students for making mistakes. That having said, the caveat is when there's egregious disciplines, of course we're going to have to follow the law and do the things, but always think about the students. What was the intent? Why did they behave in certain ways? What conditions were they put in? And then why do we have the results that we have? And so looking at the system approach of how we support students is something that has worked for a lot of my campuses and myself when I was a principal to minimize the amount of discipline referrals. What has not worked for me is removing the humanistic aspect of the students and not understanding the main reason of why these behaviors are showing up. And so when we don't take time to step back and to see, for example, in a middle school, and you're mapping out the incidents, and a lot of the incidents are in the restroom, and you continue to provide consequences for students being in the restroom when all of the incidents are in the restroom, then you're like, ay, Diosito, like, what else? And so failing to look at the root causes of it is something that does not work.
Love it. I love it, Dr. Alma. Rella Hicks, I got you exactly. If you're out and about, baby, you don't need an open door policy. I love that statement right there. Senor Dan, talk to me.
So one of the things I noticed, and this was something I did for our district when I was an administrator, was you have all the rules and everything of how to conduct yourself on the bus and the rules and regulations, but let's be honest, most people don't read it. Parents don't read it. Nobody. So what I did is put together during the summer, put together a video with some of our students with parent permission to basically, I took the rules and made up my own script. By no means am I a Steven Spielberg or any kind of director, but just was able to go ahead and use that video to be as a visual for families that we use for kindergarten through 5th grade within our county of how to conduct themselves on the bus, the right way to put on the seatbelt, the importance behind, because again, if it's visually, and then it was on the websites and things on every school website, just because they're not going to read the manual, it's there. But if you at least visually show them, and it really helped cut down on referrals, things like that. I think as far as something that didn't go well is when you don't have the time, and I know time is of the essence, but being able to process with the child about the referrals and how to go ahead and improve on it. You quickly go ahead, do your investigation, you give the consequence, but when they come back, it's trying to make sure you build in that structure of how to get them back into, what did you learn about, it wasn't just about the consequence, we move on, but what are we going to do differently the next time, and help coach them to make the better choice the next time. And that was something we weren't able to do consistently. And consistency, it matters.
Mm-hmm.
So true. Doc Fenner, I got to hear this.
We are a PBIS school. And of course, we constantly have new teachers coming in. Every year I decide which country that I'm going to choose, and I go take all those teachers and bring them to my school. But what I've learned that works best is when everybody uses it with fidelity. I have to at times have conversations with teachers and making sure that they're passing out the cub bucks. We've got all the PBIS matrices. They're displayed around the school and in every classroom. The babies are given cub bucks for anything and everything positive that they do. We also have a PBIS school store, which contains all the various items that our babies love. We ask them questions. What do you like? What do you love? So we have those things in there. Last year, we purchased a gigantic book vending machine because we have a lot of babies who love to read as well. So we've got this nice, big, gigantic PBIS store, but I have to make sure that everybody, of course, is doing it. Because what makes it bad, Josh, is when everybody's not using it with fidelity, and then that becomes a problem.
I agree. That's so true, especially what you just finished with, Doc, was the fidelity aspect, and I'm very blessed. And yes, I'm gonna ding 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 ring the bell for I work with great educators. I mean, they're just awesome. And if you have the fidelity, we fluctuate between 230 and 260 kids. We have kids that are 10 years old to 21. Let me repeat that again. We have 10-year-old to 21s in the same campus.
Wow.
I've got kids from other countries, and I've got kids that their comprehensive schools did not want them, for lack of a better term. The ones that have a gaping hole with the credits, a lot of issues, right? I'll let you know. The fidelity of the culture of the last two questions at MPA, we have averaged one discipline referral per week. We've only had like around 25 the whole year.
Okay.
25 the whole year.
Wow.
That's because the adults have created a culture of caring, Alma, of caring and understanding and finding out the nature of the kid. Everything you guys said. So when you say this, it just validates the comfortable aspect of my job in regards to supporting the vision of those team members in each hallway, which is a blessing to me. So it can be done. Hey, it can be done. I'm letting you know. It can be done, but it's up to the hard work that you do to create a culture of expectations, of high-level expectations for your kiddos, for your babies, and everybody. Thank you for sharing. Stick.
Awesome. Awesome. Guys, we are going to talk about something that I know we all have different ways of approaching, which is parent involvement. Because that is always a stickler. It's a hit and miss kind of thing, because there's different challenges. Different parts of the world, different parts of the country have different challenges. So I'm going to start off with Dan. Dan, can you tell me about a good approach to increase your parent involvement, and maybe something you tried and you're like, no, parents just did not bite that idea?
Well, one of two things. Anytime you have like musical performances or art performances and you tie in academics right into it or whatever, you're able to get the best of both worlds within there, because then you've got a captive audience and they're waiting to see their kids go ahead and perform or whatever else. But you put in some of those other parts to get that involvement piece so they can kind of hear the message or whatever it might be. We definitely need their vote or whatever about making the school better. That's one thing. Also, in our county, we've implemented things with All Pro Dads, which also includes iMoms as well, to go ahead and you have breakfasts in the morning. And it's a program that was started from Tony Dungy. Bucks coach, Indianapolis coach, legend, but just ways to go ahead and have that time where they work with the parents work with their kids on a certain topic or things. They talk about things, projects, whatever, trying to, build things within the community. And we offer that in the morning or even after school, because it depends on the parents' schedules. So we try to adapt to their schedules to best fit their needs. As far as approaches that didn't work or anything, definitely if it wasn't something that had food involved. I'll be totally transparent. If we didn't have food with it, that was just, if we were able to tie dinner or something into it, that would get them out to go ahead and likelihood of showing up more.
Okay, sounds good. Awesome. Thank you, Dan. How about Dr. Fenner? How about you?
Okay, well, yes.
Just one example, because we have to go.
I'm sorry, baby, because I'm be on a roll. My mind goes 90 miles per hour. Okay. One thing that's worked for us, and I'll touch on what he said, is whenever we have any kind of awards day or Black History program or any kind of anything where the babies are highlighting their talents, I have found that I have to instill curriculum at a glance. And that's the segment where I take about 10 or 15 minutes and have the teachers to come up and present the things that we wanted to present to you curriculum night when you didn't show up. So I'm learning. I'm having to, kill two birds with one stone. Okay, I've got you here at awards day. So what I'm going to do now is do some curriculum at a glance stuff and have the teachers to come up and present to you. And I have a few things I need to say as well. And another thing we do, we also have parent awards. We give awards to those parents, and we give you the award at the awards day ceremonies. We have you to come up, hand you a gift bag. Thank you for being an awesome, active parent. And we take pictures with you and put it on outside or put it on the website. So we also have parent awards to acknowledge those parents, who are very highly involved in the school.
I really like that because you know what? Parents like to talk and they like to brag, right? Mm-hmm. So when you start highlighting some parents, they're like, oh, I need to kind of make sure that I kind of show my stars, right? So that is pretty cool. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Dr. Alma, how about you?
So what I've seen that has worked is providing parents with parenting classes that are aligned to their culture. And what hasn't worked is inviting parent volunteers to come into the school without any guardrails. And so I would just tell you, while it's fun to have our parents around and to help us do laminations or cutouts and whatnot, when we don't have those guardrails, it can turn into a big hot mess. But we love our parents. We're always trying to provide them with the information they need to know what the students are learning, what resources we have for them. And so just being very intentional how we want to engage with them is key.
Yep. Josh, I have to say this. So I did reverse suspension one time. I was a principal and I tried this. This is a bad example. So I did reverse suspension. Instead of suspending the student, I would tell the parent that they had to come sit with their child in their classroom because they were misbehaving. Oh my God. Now I know why the child was misbehaving, because the parents are just the same. I would have to say, Mom, Dad, thank you so much. And take your child with you. Go home.
Yes.
That's it. Now, with some parents, it did work. With other parents, it was just not right.
That's right.
It's so true. You know what? I once had it. Hey, shadow your kid, man. In Mexican culture, there's a saying that goes, "Yo sé lo que tengo en la casa." I know my kids. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't equate, okay? But it's similar right there. I know what I have. But then parents, we know what we have at home, all right? And so I invited a mom, and I want you to sit in there. And I told her, I always tell, hey, team members, this parent's going to come in at this time, set a chair in the very back, let them sit there. And I tell, Mama, I just want you to be there. I want you to see. Because they're going to fake the funk. They're not going to be real because you're there in the room.
Right.
But at least they know that we're working together. That's the goal of that we're working together as adults to help the kid. Oh, Dios mío. Mom came back. Pues sí, por eso se porta mal. That's why they misbehave. The teacher does this and the teacher does that. Woo! Hey, exactly. So take it from two people right here, guys. That reverse suspension or shadow your kid, you better have good pieces. It's a great tool. It is a great tool.
It is.
But you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Because if you know that mom that comes in those sweatpants, you know the way she is, right? Or the way the mom dresses. No disrespect. There's some dads also that come dressing appropriately, but you know what? It's what we do. But we digress right there. Real quick, it's time to promote some things, some other educators. So, hey, panel, just like I sent you the message, if you got something out there, be ready. We like to promote. We are a Fundamental 5 campus. That's why it rocks and rolls. This is our platform. This is our game plan. Sean Keynes on how to help educators, especially post-COVID. If you're about to go into the chaos. I love these two books by Superintendent Glenn Robbins and Danny Bauer, who has been on the show before. These are the right size of books for educators. Hey, authors, these are the type of books that we really love. So Calm in the Chaos, Stoics, their way of looking at life with leadership. Because you know what? You're about to get your first set of testing and your first set of evaluations are coming up. So make sure you read Calm in the Chaos. And there is a dark side to education where people get blackballed. They're told you'll never do this, whatever it might be. And he presents to his audience how a lot of people like Tom Petty, Jimi Hendrix were told that they suck. They were horrible musicians and they would amount to anything. And he ties it into education. We know that happens in education.
Oh, yeah.
Grow Your Why, 23 Stories by 23 Educators by Barbara Bay. And our guest, the last two shows, More Than Just Principle, 15 principles from across the United States, 15 leadership styles that you can learn from. You're not alone. You're just a button away on Amazon. Hey, Dan, you've been on the show before promoting that awesome book. What would you like to promote?
Well, in addition to Becoming the Change, 5 Essential Elements to Being Your Best Self, which is on Amazon, in case anybody's interested. I also have a website that I'm redesigning right now for Becoming the Change that's going to have blog entries, things like that around the 5 areas, which are like self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. I've got inspirational videos on there, and then I've got a special series that's coming out. I probably could have made it into my second book, but it's called Letters to the Next Educator. United we stand, divided they fall, meaning our students fall. Whether we are students, teachers, administrators, district office, politicians, parents, anybody that dips their toes in educational waters, you are an educator, and we need to work together. And that's what I write about. So it'll be a blog series coming out in a few weeks.
Love it. Love it. And follow him on social media. He'll read to you, and he does a great tone in it. I love following when he's reading out of his book. Love it. Dr. Alma, you got something to promote?
I do. I would like to invite you to visit my website, Soulful Evolution Company. And it is a website that we have blogs, we have leadership lessons, and there's also a framework that you can utilize to be able to elevate yourself through a humanistic change into leadership.
Thank you. What's the website again?
Soulful Evolution Company.
Love it. Doc Berner, just know that since the second I heard you on Principal Cafele, I needed to have you here. You remind me so much of my mentor. I just look at you and I'm like, mucho amor. I love it.
Thank you, baby.
Is there something you'd like to promote?
Yes, I would. I am Dr. Shanessa Fenner, and outside of being a principal, I do many things. I'm a TV host, former radio personality. I write for 17 local and national magazines. Simply go to Shanessa Fenner, Muckrat, and all of my articles appear. Also, check out my latest YouTube interview that I did with Iyanla Vanzant on OWN Network.
Woo! Wow. Look at you on fire. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Last question before we go into the Échale Ganas lightning round. Dan, real quick, fill in the blank. Hey, educator, when things are not looking good, I want you to
keep on swimming.
Alma, finish the sentence. Hey, educator, when things are not looking good, I want you to
keep on going. Don't stop. It'll get better.
Doc Fenner. Hey, educator, when things are not looking good, I want you to
pray and stay on the battlefield.
Woo! There we go. And it's time for the lightning round. It's real quick answers. Remember, I said these are the only questions I give people before you come on the PGP podcast. And it's ganas. Ganas is the only word that Hispanics use as a monolith. We're not the same, trust me, but Cubans, Bolivianos, Argentinos, Mexicanos, we all use ganas in the same context. Other than that, our foods are different. The way we talk, our tone is different. The words it's all different. But we use one word, ganas. That's why it's called the PGP podcast, con puras ganas. And when you answer these questions, Mr. Dan Wolf, I want nothing but ganas. I want you to inspire those people that are stuck at home tomorrow, just like me. for that beautiful snowstorm. So here we go, Dan. You're going first. Give advice to a substitute teacher.
Relationships.
Read a note, an email, a text from a parent, a colleague, or student that inspired you with their words.
Teaching her child to read as no other teacher was able to help them, and I was able to. That was what stood out for me.
Love it. Send some flowers to an active colleague who inspires you.
Irvana, who's oversees MTSS in our district. She does a fantastic job.
What's her name? Irvana what?
Abiola.
So it's on YouTube forever until the meteor hits us and we're all gone. She could see this always as a kudos.
All right.
Name one person the audience should follow on social media.
Darren Peppard.
Love it. Road to awesome. What would you prefer? Camping, Las Vegas, or the beach?
The beach.
Tell the audience who your favorite singer and your favorite song they sing.
I would say Bryan Adams, and it's Christmas time.
Which superhero do you identify with?
Black Panther, and the one with Chadwick Boseman who played him.
Why?
Just all that he gave, not only as the Black Panther within that movie, but just who he stood for as a man, and what he gave back to the community. He just paid it forward, and it's sad that he's no longer here. He was really inspirational.
What movie do you and your family love to see?
Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase and all them. That's a classic every year.
And tell the audience, Señor de Florida, how can people get a hold of you?
So on Twitter, it's Serve, Lead, Inspire, and Instagram, Serve, Lead, Inspire always, and just Dan Wolf on Facebook if you wanted to, add a friend or whatever there. Anything we could do because we're all in this together.
Love it, Doc Fenner.
Yes,
Here we
baby.
go. Hey, it's a lightning round, young lady. Lightning round real quick, all right? No
I'm
dissertations.
ready, baby. I'm ready.
Here we go. Give advice to a substitute teacher.
Teach the babies, love on them, and call the front office if you need us.
Read a note, an email, a text from a parent, a colleague, or student that inspired you with their words.
I had a parent the other week send me an email, Dr. Fenner, thank you for the beautiful comment that you put on my baby's report card.
Love it. Send some flowers to an active colleague who inspires you.
It would be my evaluator, Jackie White. She's very helpful and just as sweet as she could be.
Name one person the audience should follow on social media.
Me, Shanessa Fenner.
I love it. What would you prefer? Camping, Las Vegas, or the beach?
The beach, baby. Something about those ocean waves that come in and just take all my worries away.
Facts. Tell the audience your favorite singer and what is your favorite song they sing.
Oh, honey, my favorite singer is Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, and my favorite song by him is I Love You, Babe.
There you go. Which superhero do you identify with?
Baby, I'm Wonder Woman all day long, okay? And I'm Wonder Woman because when I lay down, I'm tired and I'm sleeping 2.5 seconds.
What? Focus, lightning round. What movie do you and your family watch?
Well, I have to go here because it can be kind of controversial, but I like movies like this. I have the DVD series of Alex Haley's Roots. I like to watch Roots because I always want to remember and I never want to forget.
Love it. How can the audience get a hold of you again, young lady?
At LinkedIn, Dr. Shanessa Fenner.
Dr. Alma. Vámonos
Hi.
duro. Échele
Yeah.
puras ganas. Give advice to a substitute teacher.
Oh man, hang in there. I'll get better.
Read a note, an email or a text from a parent, a colleague, or student that inspired you with their words.
Thank you for being who you are. Keep doing what you're doing.
Send some flowers to an active colleague who inspires you.
Dr. Amanda Castro, Director of Student Affairs in Pflugerville ISD.
Love it. Name one person the audience should follow on social media.
Miguel Castillo.
Great guy. I had him on the show before. What would you prefer? Camping, Las Vegas, or the beach?
Camping. I love camping. I
Tell
like
the
the
audience-
s'mores.
Tell the audience who your favorite singer is and what's your favorite song.
I have a lot of favorite singers, but right now what's coming to mind is Juan Gabriel and the song El Noa Noa. And so, yeah.
Love it. Very Hispanic of you, man. But you got to watch the Netflix documentary of him was fabulous.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
All right. Which superhero do you identify with the most?
Wonder Woman as well.
What movie do you and your family love to watch together?
Oh my God. It's all about the kids. So we're watching Bad Guys on rerun time and time again.
How can they get a hold of you?
I'm on LinkedIn, Alma Gonzalez de Castillo.
Love it. Thank you, panel, for being here today. A 90, just 10 away from 100. And it can't be done without awesome educators from North Carolina, Texas, Florida. Yay. We've had them from all over the world, Moreno. From New Zealand, from Ghana. We've had them from everywhere. And the most important part, it's because of you. All of us, depending on the weather tomorrow, will be going to work to create the future of this beautiful country. We are builders. We're connecting with the future leaders of America, future leaders of industry, and we need you to be part of this collective because we're all facing the same stuff in Maine and in Texas, the same situations, the same policies, same political, economic situations, and we can only learn from each other. And you are literally only one text away, one DM away from connecting with somebody else. So you choose to be alone because you're not. You're not. Look at this panel. I reached out to them and I said, you want to be on the show? And they said yes, because those are the best. Educators are here to support each other. Remember, you're not alone. You need that support. And things are coming up right now with your evaluations. Things are coming up right now with the state testing. You cannot bear the brunt of all the negativity. We are here for you. So reach out, be part of this show, be part of the Fantastic Four. We need you because this collective is a beautiful thing because we're in the best profession, the profession that creates all the other professions, education, and we need you to be tied into this whole love affair that is known public education across the board. Panel, say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
And next week, join us for episode 91, Dr. Susan of Schoolhouse number 3 with Martin Silverman, Dr. Quenisha Tillman, and Andrea Bidner. More big people promoting their books. We need you here. See you next